What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. Let's go ahead and talk about some stocks and about what happened today in the markets. And today we had a very choppy trading session, guys. The Russell 2000 was the only index that closed today's trading session in positive territory. It went up 0.51%. The Nasdaq went down 0.58%. The Dow broke even for the most part, and the S&P 500 went down 0.37%. The choppiness that we saw in today's trading session might be the preamble of what we are about to see throughout this week, guys. Remember that on Thursday we have the CPI data report that is going to be absolutely critical for the markets in order to be able to pick a direction. And we are going to see shoppiness, a lot of shoppiness and a lot of volatility, because the markets, I don't think that the markets are going to pick a direction when we are just 3 days away from getting such an important report. Obviously, you guys already know that if the CPI data report happens to come out worse than expected in inflation terms, then that is going to push pressure over the Federal Reserve in order to accelerate the tightening and the interest rate hikes that the Fed is going to be carrying out throughout this year. And on the flip side, which I believe is not a likely scenario, if that report happens to show some sort of improvement when it comes to inflation, then that is going to be a positive sign in regard to the Fed in order to just don't be too aggressive when it comes to hiking interest rates. So we are very likely to see a very choppy week, at least until next Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, when we are going to get the CPI data report. Something that is worth pointing out about today's trading session: Nasdaq and Nasdaq 100 went down today, and the crypto space is having, as of now, a very nice rally, with Bitcoin, ETH, and most of the cryptos out there, including Shiba Inu, having solid rallies as of now. So is it that maybe the crypto space is going to get a divorce from the Nasdaq 100 and the Nasdaq? That might be positive. That might be a sign that the markets are more willing, let's just put it that way, to buy risky assets. That might be a positive sign. So let's see if mostly Bitcoin and ETH keep on recovering. And if we take a look, guys, at the sectors of the markets, the gold medal today goes for the most part for the inflation trade. Remember, we have the CPI data report on Thursday. So the best performing sector today was energy, going up 1.28%. We can make the case that we have a lot of concerns when it comes to Ukraine and Russia. So if Putin happens to invade Ukraine, I think that we are very likely to see oil above $100. So that's an ingredient that is going to play in favor of the energy sector. And the second best performing sector was financials, which went up 0.30%. And today we had a special case because the financial sector went up, whereas the 10-year Treasury yield went down. And you guys know that both the financial sector and the 10-year Treasury yield usually act in a correlated way. And when it comes to the worst performing sector today, then obviously, guys, communication services. Facebook got killed today, and Netflix also got killed today, and those stocks are very heavy in terms of market cap when it comes to this sector, communication services. So this sector ended up going down today a lot, guys, 1.74%. And if we take a look at the advances and declines distribution, maybe because the Russell 2000 was the best performing index today, we find a positive correlation when it comes to the stocks that went up and the stocks that went down, even though the S&P 500, Nasdaq 100, and the Nasdaq went down today. So today we had 4,000 stocks going up, and we had 3,300 or 3,358 stocks going down. And this is going to be a very interesting week when it comes to earnings reports. So tomorrow, keep in mind, guys, that before open, we are going to have Pfizer, British Petroleum, we have Cody, Harley Davidson, and Cisco reporting earnings. That is going to be before open. And after close, we have Peloton, which is going to be one of the stocks that I am going to break down from a technical standpoint in this video. And also Enphase Energy, very interesting earnings report, no doubt about it when it comes to Enphase. Chipotle, Corsair Gaming, another very interesting earnings report, and Lyft. Keep in mind, guys, that Uber reports on Wednesday after close, and the behavior that Uber is going to have from tomorrow, or since the moment in which Lyft happens to report earnings, is going to be very, very similar to the reaction of the markets in regard to Lyft's earnings reports. These are two companies that used to trade in a correlated way because the business models that these two companies carry out are extremely similar, obviously, right? Between each other. And tomorrow we are also going to have Spirit Airlines, and I think that Spirit Airlines is about to merge with Frontier Airlines. So this might be, and actually I think that the merger of these two airlines is going to imply that the new company that is going to be created once these two companies merge is going to be the largest airline in the US. So let's see what Spirit Airlines says in its earnings report tomorrow. And before going over the indices, I want to show you guys the only trade that I closed in today's trading session, guys, and I took advantage of the run-up that we are seeing as of now when it comes to the crypto space. So on January 25th, I started a swing position on Ethereum. I ended up making 4 different purchases, and I invested $9,000 over here, as you guys can see. A first purchase of $5,000, then I invested $2,000 more, then $1,000 more bucks, and lastly, on January 29th, I made my very last purchase investing $1,000. So I ended up investing over here $9,000, and today I had a very nice profit over here, so I couldn't resist the temptation of closing out this position, guys, because I also own ETH at a long term. My average cost is around $1,800. So I have nothing to lose. If ETH happens to pull back once again, I can reopen another position. And if ETH keeps on going up, which might be the case, hopefully, I already have a long-term position on ETH. I am a super bull, as you guys know. So I was paid today $11,354. I ended up making over here $2,400, guys. So we can make the case that I started out the week on the right foot. By the way, guys, the VIX went down today 1.55%. The S&P 500 went down today 0.37%, and it closed today's trading session at 4,483 points. So let me pull up here the 1 day, 1 minute chart and take a look at this shoppiness, guys. Jesus. So the S&P was just bouncing up and down throughout the trading session. And in terms of overhead resistance for tomorrow's trading session, the most clear area that we need to keep a close watch on is going to be 4,521 points, because we failed on that area today on 2 occasions, as you guys can see over here. And in terms of what really happened today, guys, the S&P 500 or the trading session unfolded within a 50-point range. As I just said, the S&P was just bouncing up and down. So we had a very choppy trading session, a very tough trading session in order to take quick trades or day trades. And yeah, guys, watch out for 45.20. I think that if tomorrow, this might be an option tomorrow in order to start a short position against the S&P. So if the bulls happen to pull up tomorrow and they start failing hourly on trying to burst above 45.20, that might be an option in order to buy puts or in order to start a position with any leveraged ETN such as SPXS. So that is going to be the most important area of resistance in tomorrow's trading session. And when it comes to the tasks that both bulls and bears have to accomplish in the course of this week, from a bearish standpoint, the most important task that the bears need to carry out throughout this week is going to be taking on this 200-day moving average at 44, 45, 44, 40, basically. And in the case of the bulls, the most important task that they have to carry out throughout this week is going to be taking on this 100-day moving average at 45.70. So let's see what happens first, guys. Is it going to be the bears taking out 44.40, or is it going to be the bulls bursting above 45.70? Let's see what happens in the case of the S&P 500. We might not see either scenario, guys, until we get the CPI data on Thursday, mind you. So, Nasdaq 100, what is going on over here? Let me pull it up. So, the NDX went down today 0.84%, and it closed today's trading session at 14,571 points. I'm going to pull up here the 1-day, 1-minute chart and take a look at this choppiness, guys. Very tough trading session in order to take a successful day trade, or in order to take any trades, guys. Very, but very tough. So, in terms of overhead resistance, the most important spot that I am going to be keeping a close watch on in tomorrow's trading session is going to be 14,820 points. We failed on this area earlier today. As soon as the trading session opened, 14,820 points, and as you guys can see over here, we also failed before the closing bell last Friday, exactly at 14,830 points. So needless to say, this is going to be the most important area in terms of resistance for the bulls in tomorrow's trading session. And when it comes to the most important task that both bulls and bears are going to have to carry out throughout this week, I am going to zoom out a bit over here. So I'm thinking, guys, that if the bulls, or rather that if the bears of the Nasdaq 100 happen to be able to take on 14,400 points, I am talking about a former area of support back from early October, they are going to be regaining absolute control of the NDX, of the Nasdaq 100. And on the flip side, the most important task from where I sit that the bulls of the NDX need to carry out throughout this week is going to be taking on 15,000 points, which is an area that happens to coincide with this 200-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. And as I just said, in the case of the S&P 500, don't be surprised, guys, if we don't see either of these two scenarios before we get the CPI data report on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the first stock of this video is going to be Astra. And in the case of Astra, I am going to pull up here the 1-day, 1-minute chart. Astra is a satellite launch services company which was awarded recently a contract with NASA in order to put into orbit small satellites. So the launch of one of the rockets of Astra was scheduled for today, and it was postponed all of a sudden. So take a look at what happened with the stock of this company, guys. We found out at around 2 p.m. that the launch of the rocket of this company was going to be aborted or postponed. I think that we didn't have a specific date yet for the launch of the rocket of this company to be rescheduled. So as soon as we found out about this news, then the stock of this company got halted and it dropped 20%. Then afterwards it got unhalted, and for the most part, Astra ticker symbol ASTR, for the most part went down for the rest of the trading session. So The stock of this company went down today 13.70%, and it closed today's trading session at $4.60. However, guys, and as I just said, we don't have a specific date as of now for the launch of the rocket of this company to be launched. Let's just put it that way, into space. But it is going to happen eventually because this company already signed a contract with NASA. So we can make the case that the stock of this company is going to be very volatile in the upcoming days because, most traders out there are going to be waiting for the news about the reschedule of the launch of the rocket of this company because of the contract that this company signed with NASA. So I'm thinking, guys, that maybe if the bulls of Astra Space can take on this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $6.16, we are also talking about a former area of support back from late December, they might be able to fill the next gap up to $7.24. We are talking, when I say $7.24, I am talking about a former area of support back from early October. So if we were able to take a quick momentum trade with the stock of Astra Space, once we have confirmed from a technical standpoint that the bulls were able to take on this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, so let's say that we pick up some shares at $6.30-ish, and if we are able to write them up to $7.24, get these, guys, we are looking at a 14% profit. So, needless to say, guys, I am going to keep a close watch on the stock of this company. This isn't going to be a marriage. I am not thinking about investing at a long term or anything like that when it comes to ticker symbol ASTR. But most traders are going to be waiting for that news, guys, about the reschedule of the launch of the rocket of this company. And whenever we get this news, the stock of this company might be a runner. It could be off to the races. So don't sleep on Astra Space if the bulls are able to take on this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. And the second stock of this video is going to be Coinbase. And in the case, let me pull up here Coinbase. Obviously, guys, Coinbase went on an absolute tear today because of the crypto effect, because Bitcoin has been going up a lot in the most recent hours. So Coinbase went up today 5.81%, and it closed today's trading session at $205.74. So this is an easy one, guys. I'm thinking that if Coinbase happens to pay another visit down to $200, we are talking about a former area of resistance back from February 1st and also back from January 26th. I think that this previous area of resistance is going to provide a good support. And I'm thinking, guys, and let me pull up Bitcoin quickly over here. So Bitcoin has a next gap to fill up to $46,000. We are talking about a former area of support for Bitcoin back from early January. So I'm thinking that if Bitcoin can fill this gap up to $46,000, and if Coinbase happens to pay a visit down to this previous area of resistance that now is supposed to act as a new support near $200 or $201, then I'm thinking, guys, that Coinbase could make a push higher from $200 up to $219. $219 happens to be a former area of support back from January 10th. So if we were able to take a trade on Coinbase from, let's say, $202 or $201 up to $219, we are looking at a 8% profit, guys. So I am going to be keeping a close watch on Coinbase, and if these two factors happen to coincide, Bitcoin making a push higher up to $46,000, and at the same time Coinbase finding support at around $200 or $201, I am going to be buying calls or maybe buying shares directly in order to write them up to $219 per share. And the third stock of this video is going to be the talk of the town today, guys, Peloton Interactive. So it turns out to be that apparently Amazon and Nike and even Apple are interested in buying Peloton. Peloton is, this might be a tricky one, guys. Peloton is reporting earnings tomorrow, and we already know that they said that demand is very low, and I think that they also halted production of their bikes and treadmills. So we can expect Peloton to report weak earnings tomorrow. However, we already know that Amazon and Nike and maybe Apple are interested in acquiring this company. So this might be a trade in which we can take advantage of the good momentum, as I just said in the case of Astra Space. So I'm thinking, guys, and keep in mind that Peloton went up today 20.93%, and it closed today's trading session at $29.71. So watch out for $30, guys. I am going to zoom in here a bit more, because if the bulls of Peloton can take on $30 on good volume and momentum, we are talking about a former area of resistance back from January 24th. I think that they are going to be easily being able to fill the next gap up to this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart near $33. So this could very well be a day trade, because from $30 up to $33, we are looking at an 8% profit, nothing to sneeze at. So watch out for Peloton, guys. Obviously, I am not telling any of you to play earnings. I think that this company should report horrible earnings tomorrow, but this is another stock that I am going to be keeping a close watch on, because the second the bulls take on $30, as I just said, with good momentum, I think that we are very likely to see $33 very quickly. And the last stock of this video is going to be the stock of a company that I like a lot as of now from a technical standpoint. Bed Bath & Beyond, ticker symbol BBBY. So Bed Bath & Beyond went up today 0.49%, and it closed today's trading session at $16.27. So check this out, guys. I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. The stock of this company has been uptrending on the 4-hour chart. We can make the case that at $12.32, a double bottom formation unfolded, and after this formation was completed, then Bed Bath & Beyond has been trading inside this uptrending channel, which is very positive, very bullish. On top of that, we are clearly seeing over here on the 4-hour chart a golden cross. You guys can see how this 50 SMA just crossed above this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So Bed Bath & Beyond looks very, but very decent from a technical standpoint. And now I'm thinking that if the bulls can take on this 100-day moving average at $17, we are also talking about a former area of support back from early December, they are going to be able to make a push higher, another push higher in order to fill the other gap that they are going to have to fill eventually up to $20. $20 happens to be a former area of resistance back from mid-December. So if we were able to take this trade, and mind you guys, take a look at the RSI of Bed Bath & Beyond, it is at 55 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint. So if we were able to take a trade from, let's say, $17.50 or $18 once we have confirmed from a technical standpoint that the bulls were able to take on this 100-day moving average. So from $15.50 up to $20, we are looking at a, get this guys, 13% profit. So out of all of the stocks that I just broke down in this video, this is by far, guys, the one that looks more attractive. So watch out for Bed Bath & Beyond, because I think that the second the bulls take on this 100-day moving average on good volume and momentum, Bed Bath & Beyond is going to be off to the races. And with Bed Bath & Beyond, I am going to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember, and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to this YouTube channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel, in which we talk about the markets, but we do things differently because we talk about the markets in 2 different languages, English and Spanish. So you can pick your preferred language, but most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.